Smriti are considered to be the two eyes of any religionist, any spiritualist. So let us say that somebody has no knowledge of Shruti, no knowledge of Smriti also. He doesn't know Vedanta, Upanishads, he doesn't know the Puranas. He has no knowledge of any of the scriptures. But somehow he has developed a very firm faith in an Acharya, Vaishnava Acharya. And he faithfully follows the procedure given in the path of Bhaktiyoga. Say for example, like chanting the holy name, hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, and rendering seva. Because the great soul has given me service, the great soul has taught me the way to attain God. And he develops very firm faith. By that firm faith, by that practice, it says that even though he may not have the two eyes which a spiritualist needs, the Shruti and Smriti knowledge, even if it is blindfolded, even if he is running fastly, he will not fall down, he says. So there are examples for this. You can see Mrigari, he was a hunter, but having learned that chanting of the holy name from Narada, he attained perfection very easily. The South Indian Brahman, he was not so properly learned, he couldn't pronounce the shlokas properly. But his guru had ordered him to study Gita every day, he did, and then he attained perfection also. So, on the other hand, if one becomes a very learned scholar but has no shraddha or faith in the words of the Acharya, then that kind of great learning is considered good for nothing. So, these things teach us one very important lesson, that the Sharanagati, which is expressed by the chanting of the holy name, is actually made possible by surrender to Guru in Guru Parampara. So one has to take those instructions very seriously and not take them casually. Because one cannot just go on with one's own material program without understanding seriously the order of Guru, and the instructions of Acharya. So if one is not going to take it seriously, then one doesn't practically make any progress. Even though some people become some of the intelligent boys and they become very learned in the Shastra, but not making much progress even with knowledge, because the knowledge is not applied and realization has not arisen in their hearts, and nor have they tasted the bliss that comes from surrender, from Sharanagati. On the contrary, there are many Western devotees, they don't know properly to pronounce Sanskrit verses. And they are not vastly learned in the Puranas, Upanishads, Vedas, Vedanta and all those things. But they have faithfully surrendered to Srila Prabhupada's instructions of basic instructions. Rise in the morning, chant the holy name, do Harinam Sankirtan, do the book distribution, worship the deities, lead a clean life, follow the four relative principles. By simply faithfully adhering to these instructions, even without knowing the Shruti and Smriti, they are making a lot of progress. You can see with your own eyes in ISKCON, so many devotees have made progress. So, the main point that is being emphasized in this verse is that if one surrenders to the Acharya, then the purport of the Shruti and Smriti is revealed in the heart of such a devotee. So in the same purport, there is one very important point brought up. What if any Tom, Dick and Harry says that in my heart God revealed to me and he is doing some nonsense? Is that not possible? And therefore, the point is concluded that the truths that are revealed in the heart of a good soul by dint of following the Acharya are exactly in line with what is revealed in the scriptures. Somebody is studying the scripture and speaking. Somebody has not been able to study, but he is able to say the same truths because Lord has revealed the same in his heart by dint of his Sharanagati to the Acharya and faithful adherence to the instructions. So that is the point. You will see that even if somebody is not very learned, but is surrendered to the instructions of Guru and Acharyas, such a person actually, surprisingly, he is able to speak and relish, realize, and become a vehicle of the God's mercy by dint of such a surrender. So we may know a mountain of knowledge, but we need to at least apply a mustard seed of that knowledge in our life. And the application comes from faith, and the faith leading to surrender to the great soul. So nowadays there are people who came to ISKCON, who studied Prabhupada books, they even got initiated. But now sometimes they are getting deviated because of their thing, what is this Advaita, Siddhanta, Advaita, different philosophies are there. They are getting lack of clarity and they are getting confusion, some of the people. Why? Because they have not rendered service. Because they have not shown the obedience. They have not taken Prabhupada's instructions very seriously. So if Prabhupada's instructions, which are very lucid, very simple, and the whole world knows what Prabhupada wants, if that is taken seriously, then that is going to clear the cloud of doubt. And it is going to give us a forward march, a confident march in the forward direction, provided we take the instructions of our Acharya very seriously and not neglect them. And one of the topmost instructions is to chant the holy name daily, the early morning hours with utmost sincerity, without any distraction. Prabhupada said, sit properly. And Prabhupada was very attentively making devotees chant in the early morning hours, sitting with the devotees, himself joining, chanting with them. Harinam Prabhu ki